I think there are so many ways to be successful around the green. So I'll give you, for instance, Phil Mickelson is very handsy around the greens, whereas you look at a player, say like Adam Scott, very rigid, kind of looks like the same,
Right.
forward shaft lean, plays a more conservative shot, where Mickelson's willing to take a little bit more risks. And knowing your game, you like to take risks sometimes. So building some of that in there is going to require some hinging. I mean, through your practice, you're going to start figuring out, yeah, there's a little bit of hinge movement. There's definitely instructors that say no hinging, real pendulum stroke, and then there's others that allow for a little bit more freedom. I don't think we want to discuss too much technique of what you got going on. It's about what's feeling right. And especially if you're working so hard on your imagery of holding shots out, I definitely don't want you thinking more about the task that you're trying to do. Am I hinging it? It takes
Right.
away from this. You've got a ton of experience. Let's leave that where it is.
Okay.
Now, what you can control is the way you're setting up and having the knowledge enough to say, okay, well, I'm going to increase the loft here because I want a higher trajectory.
Right.
I want a lower trajectory. I want more spin. I want less spin. I want it to run out. I want it to stop. I want it to land soft. All those things are really in the mindset of being a good player. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I can almost guarantee you there's not a guy on the PGA Tour, Champions Tour, Ladies Tour that's sitting here thinking about, I got to hinge and I got to hold.
They just do it. It's
They're just doing
whatever,
it. Yeah, it's a lot of repetition in their practice, where they found what works for them. And then, you and I have talked about this in the past. I don't think it's a good idea to follow the pack. Just to
Be your own chipper.
be your own
putter,
guy.
yeah.
Be your own guy. You mentioned it to me yesterday on the back of the range. So working so hard on having the perfect looking swing, but it's not effective. So I think that's a real thing in the game. I watch a lot of juniors working on positions and techniques to look good and not necessarily perform good. They hope that their performance comes from a good-looking swing when you and I are old enough to recognize watching Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, guys of that nature come up with some real goofy-looking swings, highly effective, extremely highly effective.